Hey everyone, welcome to the first event of National New Play Network's 2021 annual conference. I'm Nan Barnett. I use the she series of pronouns, and I'm coming to you tonight from West Palm Beach, Florida, ancestral home of the Tequesta and Taino peoples and the unceded lands of the Seminole Nation. I'm NNPN's executive director, and I'm glad you're here. We've titled this year's gathering Growing Forward, Transcending the Transactional, because we want to start to reemerge from more than a year of closures, and we believe that authentic and mutually beneficial relationships that link artists, institutions, and audiences are the best way for us to grow forward and create a more robust, equitable, and anti-racist American theater, one that centers new work from diverse voices, one that centers new work from diverse voices.
Yes, and speaking of new work, you're here tonight for a Playwrights Slam featuring 8 exciting new to NNPN writers. I am Monica Montoya, she, her, hers, NNPN's communications associate. Yay! Joining you from the ancestral lands of the Gabrielino Tongva people, otherwise known as Pasadena, California. And I am here to welcome you, and also to encourage you to take the party to the chat. I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction. It's either there or there. Either on Hopin or on our YouTube live stream, which is happening right now. So if you go over to our YouTube channel, it's also over there. You can use the hashtag NNPN GrowForward21 on Twitter to join the conversation there as well. A quick note for those of you joining us tonight on Hopin, in the chat section on the right side of your screen, you'll see there are 2 tabs towards the top, one that says Event and one that says Stage. Make sure you're in the Stage chat. There will be a blue line under the word when you're there, so everyone can see and benefit from your contributions.
Thanks, Monica. That is also great advice for conference day tomorrow, which I hope you all have plans to join us for. We'll talk a little more about what's going to happen tomorrow later on. But now it is my pleasure to pass the mic to our host for tonight's slam, our incoming programs director, Ann G. Morgan, and our outgoing board member and incoming staff member with a title that is yet to be finalized, but will be soon, I promise, Lindy Rosario.
Thanks, Nan. As Nan said, I'm Ann Morgan. I use she, her pronouns. I am over the moon to be joining this community of extraordinary staff, member theaters, and artists, and so excited for tonight's Playwrights Slam. Here at NNPN, we believe that building a community of care, something that the Playwrights Slam so beautifully embodies, starts with acknowledging the deep histories of the lands and communities we currently inhabit. For me personally, coming to you from Stanton, Virginia, that looks and sounds like naming the place where I make my home as the traditional and current homelands of the Monacan and Manahoac. You will hear, and you already have heard, other NNPNs also naming the communities whose land was stolen so we could live there today. It is only the first step on the long road to justice for Indigenous peoples in the United States. We're dropping some resources in the chat. And if you haven't already, we encourage you to type into the chat now who you are, where you're joining us from today, and the names of the Indigenous communities that live there as well. If you don't know, we encourage you to check out nativeland.ca. That is one of the links that you'll see in your chat. And throughout the weekend, we invite you to visit the Expo section of Hopin to learn, engage, and take action. And now, for a little context about what brings us all to this virtual space tonight, I am so thrilled to hand things over to my friend and fellow co-host, Lindy Rosario.
Thank you, Anne. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Lindy Rosario. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm zooming in from the unceded lands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute peoples, colonially known as Denver, Colorado. And I love a Playwrights Slam. It is so meaningful for NNPN to be lifting this up and wrapping it into almost all of their full member gatherings. And just a little history of this slam, the form was shared at the Colorado New Play Summit by Doug Langworthy to showcase the writers' work in their own voice. And that's how it's going to work tonight. Tonight, you'll get to hear the writers' work in their own voices, and they will each be introduced by an NNPN affiliated artist. We invited our affiliated artists, who are alumni of the NNPN programs, to nominate writers they love who are not yet affiliated with NNPN to introduce them to the network. So we're so excited to get to know them more tonight. And it is my pleasure to launch us into our very first of the running order. So I would love to bring into this space Blaze. Please join us.
And it's live, so you can't stop us. There we go. And there's Jay.
Hi guys, it's me. We haven't found Blaze yet, and so Blaze, if you this is what it looks like. Blaze, if you're out there, please do request sharing your video screen. Otherwise, I guess we'll invite. Can we invite Nelson up on to share and then get the introduction later? Is that good for you, everyone? Does that work? Great. One moment, please.
Is it? Oh, it's Blaze! At least by phone, I think.
And to vamp a little while Blaze joins us, Blaze is one of our National Directors Fellows. Blaze, if you are with us, thank you. And do you want to tell us about the playwright you nominated for the slam?
Blaze, I think you may be muted. And you're on your phone, so I'm not sure I can help you by telling you how to unmute. Monica, you and I are going away. See you guys after. Can't wait. Bye.
The magic of live theater on the internet.
I think we can hear you, Blaze. Oh, and there's
Can
Nelson.
everyone hear me?
Welcome, Nelson.
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay, so national director, not a technical person. Apologies. So everyone can hear me. I would love to just talk a little bit about Nelson. He is one of the most dynamic storytellers that I have ever met and have ever worked with. He writes from his heart and has so much love in that heart, and also so much observing the world around him in a very unique and specific way. He is a joy and a very dear friend and collaborator, and I'm so grateful to be able to welcome him to this space tonight to share his work. So please welcome Nelson Diaz-Marcano.
Thank you, Blaze. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Nelson Diaz-Marcano. I am him and his. I'm in the upper line of Manhattan. I am so excited today to be sharing with you my work, El Yunque in English. It's a very light, fun play, and I think at this time that's what I want to focus on. So, yeah, we're going to be reading a little bit excerpt of El Yunque in English. Here we go. A dark stage. It is humid and hot, with only the moon serving as light and guide. We hear the huffs and puffs of somebody really having a hard time getting to anywhere. We hear him before we can even see him. Ay, Dios mío. Ay. He takes another breath. which makes him drop the bag he has on himself, then plummets on the floor. Pedro, pero quién tú te... Pero quién tú te... He's having a hard time getting back his breath, you all, till suddenly he stops breathing altogether. Is he dead? Nope. He's alive. He touches himself to confirm, and after confirming he's still alive, he grabs a flashlight and an old school radio from the bag. Oh boy, muchacho, am I glad I made it. For a second there, I thought I died. I mean, did I? No. This gives him deeper questions, but those questions are cast aside rapidly, as he knows there's no accent. Nah, tate quieto, chico. There's nothing. He laughs to himself as he turns on the radio while making light signals with the flashlight. He does that a few times to the rhythm of La Clave. La Clave is the Puerto Rican way of the salsa beat. And every time he does it, he tries to hear for anything in the radio. Pero mira, there's nothing but static. Oye, you remember me? He does the light signals again. Come on, papa. Estoy seguro, pero seguro that I'm the only light you can see. I don't see any others. Y tú sabes lo hard it is to hike all the way to the top of a, how do you say a yunque in English? The yunque? The junk? Nah, junk is not junk. That can't be right. You know, our rainforest, where I'm standing. Can we just call it a yunque or the yunque? I can compromise there. I think it's okay. I'm trying to only speak English to you because, you know, I mean, you're an alien and you probably don't know Spanish, but everybody knows English. They even call it the universal language. And since you're in the universe, right? Nothing. Anyway, you know how hard it is to hide this mountain without no light? I've been reserving the power of these batteries for you. He grabs some binoculars from the bag and checks the sky. Where are you? I can see you. Is your thing invisible? You know, la nave. How do you say it? See, your ship. It's your ship, right? That's how you say it? Is your ship invisible? So the condenado airplanes can't see it? He does the light signals again. Maybe you don't remember me. It's me, Pedro now, because I'm an adult. I think I scared you last time because I started screaming in Spanish, but that was like 20 years ago. I was 13 then. You can't blame me for being excited. I mean, you're an alien. Now, I know English, so you can understand me and how to speak bajito, you know? Like low key, like the Americanos will say, like quiet. I came here a few times, but I never saw that big light of yours again. I imagine all those trees and lights wouldn't let you see me, and that Julio and I got lucky that one time that we got to see it. But now that the hurricanes took all the trees and the power is completely out, and I mean, there's not even rain in this rainforest, so what's up? Pedro looks forward and sees the horizon. Wow, mano. He never seen anything like this in his life. Se ve como la boca del lobo por ahí. Oh, sorry. English. Puerto Rican saying, it means the mouth of the wolf. You know, because it's dark and you may never get out. That's dark. It's something like that. Sometimes I'm too jíbaro to understand. At least that's what my wife used to say. My ex-wife, I mean. Oh yeah, life update. I got married. I also got divorced, but I was married first for a few years there. Got a beautiful baby girl and everything. I don't get to see her much. Sadly, they moved once she got a new boyfriend and the divorce was set. I mean, I couldn't find a job in the island. I guess she can provide a better life in Ohio, but can you explain to me why Ohio? Why do Puerto Ricans choose the coldest or weirdest places to go, like New York? I've been to New York. It's so cold and dirty, and people walk so fast, and I kind of like it, but I don't understand why. Florida, on the other hand, nah, I mean, we're crazy, but Florida people, yo, eso otro nivel, no puedo. Oh yeah, English, sorry. Pero como te estaba diciendo, I even heard they're moving to Texas now. Texas! At least it's not Ohio, like, what's there? But Texas? That's where Julio's going too. You remember him, my best friend, the one that was with me that day? He does the light signal again. Don't be shy. Give me a sign, brother. He waits. And after waiting a few minutes, he grabs a candy bar from his pocket. Es que that's why I'm here. I was waiting to see you, but well, anyway, you see, Julio is moving. Like a few weeks ago, we got hit by a hurricane, which I'm sure you saw in your invisible chip. And well, things are hard. Like, not that fácil. There's no power, no food, nothing. I mean, you got to work to get anything, tú sabes. You got to work to get stuff. And Julio is not really the working type. So he decided to move in with his brother in Texas. At first, it was only for Thanksgiving, but now that this hurricane happened, he decided that he's going to stay. I mean, he's never been a brave soul. That's why he has me. But that's what he's supposed to be now. Without me, he even peed his pants when he saw your light 20 years ago. Yes, so that it was his idea. We were watching the Goonies and he wanted an adventure. So we decided to camp here with his brothers and escape at night to come meet you at the peak of the Yunque. But when you showed up, ooh, the smell! I mean, it was scary, but man, you could find him by following the yellow trail, like, so crazy. Julio's like that, you know? So I was hoping to ask you for a little favor. But listen, I'm not asking without giving anything in return. I give you all the secrets I know of humanity. I don't know many, I think, but there must be something valuable up here. We all have something unique, like my mommy says. I can show you how to whistle. Maybe you guys don't know how to do that. Or how about this? Huh? Bet you've never seen that. I'll show you how to do that if you, I don't know, connect a cable from your invisible chip into the island's power grid and run it till the lights come back on. You know, just run it like, I'm pretty sure your super duper advanced machine could do that. Or I restore the cables in a second. And I'll show you how to do the cool thing so you can show your friends and tell you all, I don't know, tell you other stuff too. He listens for him. Nothing. Oye, mano, come on. You will really help me out here. If we get the power back now, Julio won't move and I won't lose my best friend. We know each other since we was little and since my wife left. He's the only family I got. Mom and dad passed a long time ago and I got no siblings. I hate my cousins. They're all tráfalas or think they're too cool for me, but not Julio. When everybody else thought that I was stupid or would make fun of me because I'm a little slow, Julio was there to lift me up. When everybody was making fun of me because my wife was cheating, he made sure that I was okay. Always by my side, and now there must be something, right? Or did I walk throughout the dark for nothing? Nope, nothing still. You'll be helping a whole country. If you reveal yourself, you'll be considered a hero. I'll bet they organize a concert for you. Or you like a perreo instead. We can get Bad Bunny or Evie instead if you want it. And you can show the world the trick I show you. Just please. So many people are leaving and dying and just not here anymore. First, the economy. Now this. You know Julio's sister is going to send her daughter to freaking Ohio to stay with an aunt until things get better. She's never coming back. Things never get better. And that's happening all over. Yes, I am being selfish. But I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this request. So I wonder if this is something you will give us a hand with. Please. He begs, but nothing. Fine. Be like that. Be selfish. I'm not saying be a whatever. You fill in the blank. You know my daughter was going to stay here for Christmas and now the mom doesn't want to let her? You know why? No power. And you could fix that, but no. I haven't talked to her in weeks. And when I talked to her was to say that I was fine and for her mom to tell me that piece of information, that she wasn't coming anyway. It's been weeks since that. And she's probably so worried. I know she is. And see, I can talk to her. No signal. But sure, be anonymous. Ignore us. Everyone else is, so why not you? This is not even your world. If the people that are supposed to take care of us don't, why would you? Why would you? All of you. Son un chorro de cabrones. He gasps and puts his hand on his mouth, then starts to breathe. I'm so sorry. I don't ever curse. I try not to because I have to teach through action, you know? I may not be the smartest, but I know that every little bit matters, and I guess that's all I'm asking. Just a little bit. Don't forget us. He takes a bite of his candy bar again. Pero mira, he grabs a blanket from his bag. I'm staying here all night, so if you change your mind, get at me, okay? He takes the flashlights and takes out a book. The guy starts whistling as he sets up his little nook. Then after setting it up, he goes to the corner and unzips his pants to relieve himself. It is when he's about to start urinating that a huge sound booms all over and a huge flash of light happens. This startles him enough to fall on the floor. He's scared, but once he's on the floor and before he can breathe, he hears the sound of his cell phone's signal. He struggles to run there, trying to zip his pants. It is a mess of epic proportion to get to his phones. Think of it as a final battle with a boss. He slips, he trembles, can't find his phone that works. Then when he finally gets it, it's a huge moment of victory. He picks it up and his eyes light up as he sees the name. Mija, ¿cómo estás? Sí, te extraño mucho. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yes, I can talk to you in English so you don't mess it up. And you can learn better. How you been? Tell me everything. Solo quiero escucharte. Sorry. English. He smiles and gives the aliens a thumbs up. Where am I? I'm at the Mama, do you know how to say a junk in English? The flashing lights happen again and then blackout. The end. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ken Weitzman, and hello, NNPN friends. And I'm honored to be here to introduce Kristen I. Spencer. And I've known Kristen since her days as an undergrad at Stony Brook University, and I was immediately taken with her as a theater artist, and not solely as a writer from the start. She did everything: set design, directing, writing, producing, making community connections, everything. But what struck me most, I think, was that she had a definite vision of the theater she wanted to create and the world she wanted that theater to inhabit, and the change she wanted to see, and how she'd help make that happen. On a personal level, I found her to be fierce and passionate and deeply socially engaged and genuine and fearless, and simultaneously wearing her heart on her sleeve and at the same time not standing for any bullshit. And I think all of that is in her writing. It's a dynamic mix of elements. She toggles between the colloquial and the poetic, language and movement, grit and metaphor, and it's uniquely her, and it pulses with life. And I am so happy to introduce her to you because, in case you couldn't tell, I'm a fan. So here's Kristen I. Spencer.
Thank you, Ken. Oh my God, that was so wonderful. I haven't seen that man in years, and I love him dearly and his family. But hi, I'm Kristen Spencer. I go by she, her pronouns. I am on, I believe, the Lenape land in Manhattan, and I am going to be reading a few excerpts from my piece called Tue Tue, otherwise known as Songs Black Girls Sing on Swings When No One Is Watching. And I hope you enjoy. This section is called The Things She Didn't Say. During this section, the women go to their repetitive movement with the jungle gym in their respective areas. Although this is the same movement as presented in other sections, they move with an incredible weight as they are bare. My mama was a dancing lady. I'm a dancing lady too. My feet are stained with dust and splinters of floors I've glided across. My mama was a dancing lady, and so am I. We are filled with rhythm and blues and tears of notes that no one stuck around to play. I hear her say, she always say, day, day. We are dancing ladies, soaked in big pots of callaloo and pig feet, stuck between neck bones and overtones of someone's sorry guitar that we didn't ask to hear. And no man will ever learn to love us proper. She say, day, day, we are dancing ladies. We love ourselves better than anyone else ever could but God. And for a time, I abided by that and then looked around and I realized that I was dancing alone. How could this possibly be love? No one is dancing with me. There is no lonelier sound than that of just my own 2 feet beating against the hardwood floors. The men, they come and go. They dance for a song or two, but they always leave for someone else, someone with better rhythm, someone who doesn't like to dance at all, someone whose hard truths do not lie between their releve and their wobble. She say, I hear her say, day, day, we are dancing ladies. And she never say the sway of my hips would make them hate me. She never say the sway of my hips would make me too strong and therefore necessary to break. How could this possibly be love? My mama was a heavy woman. I am a heavy woman too. My back is contorted and scarred with the weight I've dragged across this earth. My mama was a heavy woman, and so am I. We wear skeleton braces wrapped around our necks, their feet scraping the pavement, banging against the staircases up to our lovers' bedrooms. I hear her say, she always say, baby, we are heavy women. And we born into this world that way, carrying our mama's muscle memories in our being, and no man will ever learn to love us proper. She say, baby, we are heavy ladies. We love ourselves better than anyone else could but God. And so I lay with men who will run when they wake up to skeletons in the bed with us in the morning. Scared shitless of all the shit I carry with me onto the mattress. And so you lay with dogs, you wake up with flies. You lay with a heavy lady, you wake up with someone to fix, someone to save. And I ain't dependent on no man for that, no. The men, they come and go, and at night while we ride and moan, he don't hear the click, 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 clacker of the bones in the bed with us. I hear them all night. All night, I hear them saying, baby, he don't love you unless he love us, and he ain't gonna love us because we too damn heavy. I hear mama and mama's mama and mama's mama's mama, all of them way down deep in me, and I can't shake them. They won't let me go. I hear them say, screaming, baby, we are heavy women. Mama, she never say, I never hear her say, no one else will say that they will share my weight. She never say, no one will share my weight, so I fill my temporary want and never get what I need. You don't love me, you love my pussy. Because I'm too damn heavy. How? How could this be love? My mama was a desert lady. I'm a desert lady too. The rims of my eyes are dried and barren from tears that don't show up in necessary time. My mama was a desert lady, and so am I. Our bodies are made entirely of sandstone and dirt. There is not one drop of water in me for anyone else outside of me. Our rivers run deep at the barrel of our sand fort dunes. I hear mama say, she always say, Fifi, we are desert ladies. You don't get to cry. Soak up those tears with that biscuit and gravy and make it taste sweeter. Swallow them in their faces so they know they ain't break you yet. No man will ever learn to love us proper. She say, Fifi, we are desert ladies. We love ourselves better than anyone else ever could but God. And so when my tears come in, they rush in, foreigners going to war, flooding in, the rims of my eyes exploding with violent cleansing. The lovers, they come and go, calling me strong girl, calling me brick house, calling me brave, calling me cold. They only love they know is hot, fresh tears staining cheeks. And so maybe I just don't love right. Maybe I just don't love right. I hear her screaming, Fifi, cut that crying. Cut that crying. Cut that crying. You don't get to cry. Don't you cry. Don't you cry. Don't let them have those tears. Those are for you. You alone. You hold that together until you get home. Fifi, you get home. You can scream the walls down, girl. But those tears are for you. I never hear never hear her say, Fifi, baby, let it out. Let it go. Let your soul cry when you need to. She never told me what happens when you cry outside. She never told me that when you cry outside, they would stop and sop up my tears with a biscuit and gravy and eat it in my face just to show me how fragile I am. So I stay brick house. I stay desert dry. What is crying? I don't know her. How? How could this possibly be love? My mama was a Mona Lisa woman. I am a Mona too. My smile is sly and warped from all the ingenuine ones I've handed out on an hourly basis. My mama was a Mona Lisa lady, and so am I. We tote smiles day to day that behind the pearly white are quite gray. We sit still, so still, so that people painting us can craft whatever story suits them best. I hear her say, she always say, CC. We are Mona Lisa ladies. When we smile, no one digs into us because our smile is the eclipse to our pain. So etch that smile, mold that smile, sculpt it to your face because that is the only way we survive these men who will never learn to love us properly. She says, Cece, we are Mona Lisa ladies. We love ourselves better than anyone else ever could but God. And so I sit still, I lay still so they can paint me with whatever story they like. One day I'm a scrumptious steak to tear into. The next I'm a piece of old newspaper flowing in the wind. What would you like me to be today? The lovers, they paint me. I have a million portraits of myself scattered across the earth, laced into the muscle memories of people that don't know shit about me. And to that, I smile. I hear mama saying, I hear her screaming, Cece, smile, Cece, smile. Show that pretty smile. She never told me that if I smiled enough through it all, that I would never actually know myself or trust my emotions when I'm not smiling. She never told me that Mona Lisa actually probably had murder on her mind when some lover painted her. She never told me that Mona probably wasn't smiling at all. You could see it in her eyes. That's the story they painted for her, but look how long she survived. I guess mama was right, but how could that possibly be love? The movement goes on for a bit. One by one, each of them begins to slow down their movement. It should feel like a flame slowly burning out. How could this be love? Baby, we are heavy women. Maybe I just don't love right. Paint me. No one is dancing with me. Mamas. Sop up those tears with a biscuit and gravy. Make it taste sweeter. Smile, Cece. The sway of my hips too strong. Someone to save. How could this be love? How could this be love? No one is dancing with me. I hear her screaming. How could this be love? Breath after breath, the movement dwindles down into a stop in the center of the tree's silhouette. By the end of this sequence, the women take each other in. They look at one another in this sacred circle. The silhouette of the tree on the turf begins to disintegrate, slowly turning to ash. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, all. I am Hannah Wolf, and it is my pleasure to introduce Travis Tate to you all. Travis is a queer poet, playwright, performer, and pop culture writer, originally from Texas. We were classmates while in grad school at UT Austin, and it's there that I had the great privilege of seeing and reading and experiencing their work. Travis makes plays about Blackness, queerness, and history on a global and also a family scale. Their characters live full lives infused with magic, poetry, and song. Travis takes characters through hard situations, but they are always in community with each other and the ancestry under their feet, and with the ancestry under their feet. Travis is a dream to work with. They're the person to go to when you don't understand a reality TV show, a TikTok trend, or a Twitter trend. And they're the person who is always ready for collaboration. And I really believe that their work needs to be on a wider stage. So I'm so excited for you all to hear Travis's work. Thank you.
Yay. Hello. Thank you, Hannah. That was so sweet. If anyone wants to talk about TikToks, let me know. I'm Travis Tate. My pronouns are they, them. I am here in Austin, Texas. Yeah, I'm going to read a play that I just started working on. It's called The Influencers. Guess what it's about? Influencers. So here we go. 1. Urel sits in a yoga studio. There are candles lit, incense going, and a light song in the background. Urel sits in front of his phone, and there's a ring light, and he's making an Instagram video. Time is abundant. Time is a superficial concept, and that's not what we're here about, not on this channel. We're about embracing moments, the moments of our lives, the moments that are set in front of us. Look to your left. Now look to your right. Imagine the space between you and the person on each side as some infinitely large space. Even though you may be close, there is so much going on in that small space. There may be a divorce, a scorned love. There may be a potential for growth, for friendship, for a new love. Now, breathe in all those possibilities. Imagine that space now as infinitely large. The space between you and the person sitting next to you is as large as this universe. Now, look at the impossibility that you can be sharing space right now, whether it be, digital space or whatever. Maybe you're lucky enough to have roommates or family or mother or partner. I think it's important when you see another person, imagine that space. People come and go around us as we move through this world. Urel hits a gong. What we need to take stock of is the mere fact that we live in this world, in a digital age, that we let others, see what and who we really, really are. The world can then make their own judgments about our character, about whether or not we should get married, or what we should wear in public, or if we should eat cake. I want this space to be a non-judgmental space. This is our church. So thanks for joining me live. I'm your lover, Urel. Until next time. Urel does a snap and the video feed cuts out. Scene 2. So this scene I'm going to read, there's a bunch of characters. I'm not going to say any of their names. All these characters are a bunch of cis gay men at a brunch. So it might get confusing, which I think might mimic what happens when you're in an in-group like this. So 2, a brunch place no one can really afford. We're all here because you watch too much porn. What? I agree. Yes, I also agree. You all don't know that. I can hear it through the walls, through your headphones. The bed makes a particular sound, and then you're breathing heavier than normal. You always breathe really heavy, but this is a different kind of heavy breathing. You listen? We just think, I got this. You are kind of a loser. You sit at home, you drink a lot, you smoke a lot of cigarettes, you complain that nobody wants you or thinks you're attractive. You're decently attractive. That's not a read. Above average attractiveness. You need to try harder. I dress fine. You have body odor. I wear natural deodorant. It's not that bad, but like, you're an adult person. I just don't want cancer. Lucas shoves a pack of cigarettes in Max's face. I'm quitting. Look, we're going to set you up and block all the porn on your computer. That's a bit much, don't you think? Do you even know how to play like a sport? Why would I play sports? It's a thing to do. Sports are for people that are not very smart. Yeah, but you go to the gym because I want social capital, not because I like working out. That's stupid. Have you seen how big my pecs are? A long silence. Maybe Lucas drops something on the ground. I don't want to go on dates with people. And apparently nobody wants to go on dates with me. So here we are all at some impasse. You have to be positive. You have to like create your own destiny by manifesting your thoughts in a way that gets the maximum potential for your life. You have control over your life. I don't believe that. And why are you talking like that? He's going to this group. AA, alcoholism isn't funny. So a cult. It's not a cult. That's always what people say when they're definitely in a cult. You should come. No, it's a lifestyle management group. I've learned so much. Sahil made me go like 2 weeks ago, and I went, and it was fun. And everyone's very hot. A sex party. I've been to sex parties before. You have never in your life gone to a sex party. Come on, Max. You would have a nervous breakdown. What's wrong with me not liking, like I love sex, I like sex. I mean, I just would like a loving partner. You're never going to get a boyfriend from your couch. I'm not even talking about a boyfriend. You're obsessed with monogamy. I just want to know a person a little before, they stick inside of me. We all know that you don't really have that many feelings. You'll stick it anywhere. Okay, yes. I may be sex averse because I like people and I like getting to know them. You need to know yourself. Wow, that's deep. Do you even love yourself? Don't do that. You're always talking about how you want to fix yourself, make your lips bigger. You work out like a monster. I just want bigger lips, and I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting change. You're like obsessed with your appearance when you're perfectly fine appearance-wise. You won't even fuck anybody. And like, we've seen your dick through your pants, so like, you have a lot of good qualities. I'm perfectly capable of having sex with someone, not without obsessing over them. Okay, having a crush is not an obsession. Crushes are like obsessions of the heart. Look, I want to have sex. Yes, I have a penis, so there is things I would like to do with said penis, but I think it's fair, it's okay to like not like sex that much. I can just watch porn. I think you have an addictive personality. You said that before. It took you like 2 years to quit smoking, and you still drink a lot. I drink a normal amount of wine for an evening. I asked a doctor. You want to stop talking about Matthew, which is like a bad name for a dog, and that's probably why he got hit by that Jeep Wrangler. I didn't know gay people drove Jeep Wranglers. Okay, I was a bad dog owner, but I'll be a good father. Max storms out of the room. The bathroom door shuts. He can cry on cue. I don't understand why you're so impressed by that. I always wanted to be an actor. You're like the right amount of dumb. I think so too. What's this group? It's called Bright Belief. It's actually enlightening. You both are so silly. You should come. I won't do that. It'll be fun. We can all go like a brunch thing. I hate day drinking. Oh, Sundays we don't drink. It's Detox Sunday. Inventive name. We could get him to go with us. He needs to detox. Fine. Max, get your ass out the bathroom. We all know you pee super fast. Max exits the bathroom. I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly healthy. I'm a bit maybe off the rocker, but I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. Not good enough. For who? For your life. You're being wasteful with your life. That's what Urel says. Who the fuck is Urel? We're all going to this lifestyle cult tomorrow. It'll be fun. I refuse to willingly go to a cult party. It's not a cult, goddammit. It'll make Lucas feel better. And I feel like as a friend group, we don't really listen to Lucas because we all think he's stupid. And that is not fair. It's not fair at all. Okay. Okay. One time only. Sunday afternoon. We'll meet there. You'll see. You can meet other people, maybe make friends, maybe make a boyfriend. I don't want to have a boyfriend. You're obsessed with monotony. Monogamy? Monogamy. Monogamy? Monogamy. That's all. Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Yay, Travis, that was wonderful. Okay, so hello, everybody. My name is Dave Osmondson, he, him, his. I am coming at y'all from Pompton Plains, New Jersey, which is the unceded territory of the Lenape people. It's kind of part of a bigger town called Pequannock, which derives from the term, I'm gonna mispronounce this, I apologize, Pequada Hunak, which means cleared land ready or being readied for cultivation. So I am here to introduce to y'all the marvelous playwright Scott C. Sickles. So when I was asked, what do you love about Scott as a writer and a person, I honestly did not know where to start, which is a very rare feeling for me because Scott is in like the top 5 of the most interesting people I know. So in the interest of trying to keep this as concise as possible, I'm just going to say these things. Scott is a writer with range. He is successful at writing futuristic sci-fi, sharp-witted romantic comedy, and poignant relationship dramas. He's also a writer for a general hospital. Seriously, that is his day job. His plays, whether they are like on a grand epic scale, such as Mariana's Trench and or Pangea, or intimate, like this beautiful 10-minute play he wrote called Floats, they all explore the complex fragilities and vulnerabilities of what it means to be alive. And they're also freaking hilarious. Like, he has such a sharp sense of wit and humor. And all these traits that he has as a playwright expand to him as a person as well. He is intelligent. He is kind. He's insightful. He is great and so much fun to talk about theater and film with. And when he gives you feedback on your work, he is very conscious and careful in how he does it, which is like a very rare trait in most people. He is honestly the best friend that a playwright, best friend a theater best friend like a person in general can have. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to let Scott and his work speak for themselves. So Scott, the virtual space is yours.
Thank you, Dave. Top 5, not top 3. Okay. Hi, I'm Scott Sickles. My pronouns are he, him. I am coming to you from Forest Hills, Queens, which I believe is the ancestral land of the Canarsie. Tonight, I am reading to you 2 scenes from the aforementioned Mariana's Trench. It is the first play in a trilogy that follows our protagonists, Teddy and Anzor, from a childhood pen pal correspondence, which you'll hear from tonight, to the literal end of the world nearly 50 years later. Teddy's scenes take place in Pittsburgh. The year is an alternate 2019. At first, there is darkness, and a young voice is heard. Light only travels so far in water. A spotlight comes up on Teddy Passanante, an 11-year-old half Korean boy. He is not athletic. He continues. The deeper you go, the darker it gets. The pressure builds and builds because water has weight. Its form is a function of the object that contains it. And when that object is the earth itself, well, it's a lot of water, which means a lot of weight and a lot of pressure and a lot of darkness. Which is not to say there isn't light at the bottom of the ocean. Consider the anglerfish. Now, they're called anglerfish because they literally have a fishing rod on the top of their heads. The females do, that is, called the Elysium. And at its tip is a bright light called the Esca. The Esca attracts other fish. And then the Elysium moves to lure them closer to their mouths, which have terrible sharp teeth. And then you get the picture. But don't worry, light isn't always a trap. There are so many creatures down deep in the sea that give off brilliant displays of light in all kinds of colors. The deepest, darkest part of the ocean is the Marianas Trench. It's also called the Mariana Trench. Some argue that's its proper name, and maybe it is, but I like the S. There's no apostrophe. It's almost like there's more than one Mariana, but there's only one trench. But the S makes it sound like it belongs someplace. That at the bottom of the ocean, this lonely crack, almost 1,600 miles long, over 40 miles wide, and 1.5 miles deeper than Mount Everest, is somehow welcome. There is a surprising amount of life in the trench. And I like to imagine what it's like to go down and explore it. Of course, you can't scuba dive down that far, but wouldn't it be great if you could, if someday there could be a deep sea suit strong enough to withstand that kind of pressure? But what I really want to do is go all the way down to the bottom of the trench. I'd like to take off my helmet, step out of my suit, and stand barefoot at the deepest, darkest part of the ocean and feel the sand and sediment oozing up between my toes. I'd look up as far as I can to see if I can find even a tiny speck of light coming down. So anyway, I'm kind of weird. Now you know. Lights come up on a middle-class dining room table and chairs. Teddy sits and finishes writing his letter longhand. So what about you? What are your interests? Are you a sports guy, a science guy, an arts guy, or any combination of the above, or maybe even an other please specify kind of guy? That's what qualifies as my sense of humor. You should know that up front. I like your name, Anzor. It's cool, like a planet or a supervillain. Does it mean anything? Where is your family from originally? What do your parents do? How did your life change when the United States separated and Arkansas became part of the new Confederate States of America? I mean, are you happier now? What do you want to be when you grow up? Tell me anything. Ask me anything. I hope to hear back from you soon. Thank you for writing to me. I'm really excited about this pen pal program between our countries. They say writing letters on paper is a lost art. Here's to finding it together. Sincerely, Teddy Passanante. P.S. Teddy's my middle name after President Teddy Roosevelt. What's yours? And we're moving on to the penultimate scene of Act 1. Anzor, also 11, is the son of Muslim refugees who escaped an anti-gay genocide in Chechnya years before, only to find themselves trapped in the anti-Muslim, anti-gay theocracy where their existence has just been deemed illegal. This is about 9 months after the letter you just heard. Anzor's parents have decided to send him into hiding. Before he leaves, Anzor sneaks off to write one last letter to Teddy. Dear Teddy, I am sorry you're so unhappy. Please always remember that I'm your friend and that I... Dear Teddy, I'm sorry you're so unhappy. I know what it's like to be scared too right now. Dear Teddy, I'm sorry you're so unhappy. Here's a story that I hope will cheer you up and remind you that you are never truly alone. Teddy joins Anzor. They act out the story. You and I are in our deep sea submersible heading toward the trench. I keep calling it the Mariana Trench, and you keep correcting me. Teddy, Marianas. Anzor. Then we notice there are bright, colorful lights far away and all around us. And we realize the squid are watching us. Dozens, maybe hundreds of squid. They're blinking messages back and forth to each other about us, signaling our positions to the giant squid. The giant starts to wrap its tentacles around our deep sea submersible. We need to get out. It's our only chance to swim away into the deepest, darkest part of the ocean where no human being has ever swum before. We put our helmets on our super deep sea pressure suits and get out of the submersible just in time. The giant squid doesn't notice right away, not until he sees the other squid signaling him. By then, we're diving down into the trench. The squid are searching for us, the giant and his humble henchmen. We know the only way to make it is to split up. Teddy, I don't want to split up. Anzor, neither do I, but it's the only way. We'll each go in opposite directions, and as soon as we can, we'll meet up again on the surface. Teddy, but to get up to the surface, we have to swim up, past the squid and the sharks and anything else that wants to eat us or drag us down. Anzor, and we can't go fast or we'll get the bends, so we'll have to sneak. Teddy, and glide. Anzor, and float to the surface. Anzor turns to Teddy, takes his face in his hands, and says, but don't worry, we're going to make it. We'll find each other on the surface. Anzor lets Teddy go, and Teddy glides away. Anzor continues his letter. Sorry to spoil the ending, but all things considered, I wanted you to know it was happy. Your friend, no matter what happens with the squid, Anzor. Thank you, NNPN. Thank you, Dave Odspenson, and thank you, everyone watching tonight.
Hello, I am Adrienne Dawes, and I am so excited to introduce our next playwright, Taji Sr. I met Taji back in my hometown of Austin, Texas. She came in to audition for a comedy sketch show called Doper Than Dope. So if you can imagine a 90s style sketch comedy show that's like an homage to In Living Color and House of Buggin'. That's what our show was together. That's my first introduction, was seeing her do solo sketch work in a comedic vein. And she completely blew me away. The audience, I mean, when Taji is on stage performing her original work, she has the audience completely captivated. She won every single award that you could potentially win in Austin, Texas, as a performer, and I believe as a playwright as well. So this is a really easy introduction and recommendation for me to make. So we should shout out Taji, who recently graduated from UCLA with an MFA in acting, and she is now on the East Coast in New York. So congratulations, let's celebrate that New York gets to spend time with Taji and her work. Let me see what else I can tell you. Her work is going to be such a treat for everyone. Anyone investigates Black femme identity, looking at historical perspective. There's a playlist that goes along with every single piece she's written and performed in. It's really a syllabus. You know, there's a lot to investigate and to explore. And she's always surprising with what she does, how poetry and how movement have really engaged in her work. So she's an artist that's really inspired and impacted my career and my life. So I'm excited to share her. Share an introduction if you don't already know Taji. I'm just checking my phone to make sure we've got Taji. Why don't you come on camera if you're if you're in the building? Say on. We might have lost Taji due to some connection issues. Oh, Let me just text her real quick. Oh, there's Anne. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. It's live. It's theater.
It is. And this, like, we're mid, oh, there's Tashi.
Here's Taji.
Okay, I have a bit of a delay. So I'm not quite sure, as with all things in life, I'm not quite sure what's happening. Um yeah, so nothing new. This would happen in the real world too. Oh, and I can hear myself. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that. So sorry. I'll say, first of all, Adrian, thank you for that incredible introduction. Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Adrian. Um, there's so much to say about that, but I don't have a ton of time, so I'll just say thank you, Adrian, for everything. And thank you, NNPN, for this opportunity. I'm going to do a very short monologue from a play that I was working on back in 2019 called Devour. I'm currently in the process of rewriting it and reworking it, and I don't know, watching YouTube videos while I quote unquote do research for it, whatever. So this is from that piece, and we'll just get into it. You should know. I should say to you that I have been loved. I am not defined solely and completely by relation, but relation is how we identify with one another, connect to one another. And so you should know I have been loved. Forehead kissed, hands reached for, fingers interlocked, sat with in comfortable and uncomfortable silences, tears patted from the cheeks, scalp greased, calves rubbed, knotted flesh of the back made placid, consent sought, hair removed from face and tucked behind the ears, words heard, eyes gazed into, intentionally, meaningfully, embraced tightly, laughed with, spoon-fed, calmed, seen. I present this to you as evidence. I have been loved. So has my mother, so have my grandmothers and their mothers, even on plantations. Even knee deep in somebody else's soiled and squalid clothes and bedding, even by the babies they never got to raise and the husbands they never got to hold, even with seasickness, even with dark skin, even with hair that requires the hot comb spend a little extra time on the stove, even with bodies celestial by design, made obscene through science and dismembered by curiosity, even through absentia in plain sight, even in Section 8, even with EBT cards, even in solitary confinement, even when serving mandatory minimums, even when they weren't white, even outside of Bible study, choir practice, benediction, usher board, and auxiliary meetings, even at Freaknik, even when it was easier and more settling to pretend they didn't exist. My capacity and deservedness of and for love is inherited, ancestral, and molecular. I have been loved. And I don't know, y'all, if it gets better for us, for Black girls. I know it wasn't better for my mother. I know it wasn't better for my grandmother or her mother or her mother. And by my current estimation, I don't know that it will be better for me. And should I have the blessing of bringing a girl child into this world, I doubt very seriously it will be better for her. And there are times when the weight of it all is enough to make me not want to stick around and find out. And I have no sweet thing to say to make you feel better about that. I'm not here to make you feel better about that. And I don't know how we dismantle the system or how we get ahead, or if resistance will ever not feel like silently screaming alone in public, or if we will ever not need to resist. I don't know if we'll ever stop paying tithes to the institution that nudge us towards honor by threatening to call us whores. And I don't know if our body will ever be ours, or if we'll experience that human beings we might be if our survival wasn't dependent on proving we are humans in the first place. What I do know is that I have been loved, even though you said I shouldn't be. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, thank you. I'm here to represent Mia McCullough, who could not be here to provide her introduction, but she did provide her introduction, and so I will call it into this space now. There's nothing like finding a playwright who grabs you in the first few pages, sets you at ease with their voice, and invites you into their brain. Kimberly Dixon Mays struck me as a unique, confident, and important voice from the first time I was introduced to her work. Her perspective is something we need more of in the American theater. Kimberly Dixon Mays, please join us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to NNPN and all of the folks who made tonight possible. Thank you to Mia for suggesting my name. And thank you to my peers tonight who have already made this evening amazing. So I come to you from the land of the traditional territories of the three fire peoples, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi, AKA Chicago. And I'd love to share an excerpt with you from my play entitled When Given the Choice, Bleed. It's a commission from the Chicago Dramatists, and it's a play for a solo performer, usually not me. And it features four women from different eras who face four different, ordinary, but life-changing decisions around blood. The other things that might be helpful for you to know are tonight you're going to hear from two of the cast of five. You're going to hear from Holly, aged 21, a college senior in 1962, a Black Southern belle. And this excerpt will be opened by a character named Them, which is a single voice representing many and referred to in the plural. They are living in an abstracted space in this play. There is a row of 5 chairs that are visible and in different styles to match each character. I think that's enough background to get you grounded, so I'm going to launch in. It's the start of the play, Act 1, Scene 1. The setting is the space and the chairs. The chairs are set with each character's props. Lights up on a looming image of predators with red, bloody mouths devouring prey, perhaps projected on a wall or pasted on an easel. Then the actor, as character Them, stomps in, dressed in a simple black coverall jumpsuit, a single red pocket on the front of one hip. They push or otherwise rid the stage of the bloody image. Them speaks. No, not today. Not that, none of that. No, no, not today. Them pushes the further images off stage as they continue. They know that. We know that. They know us like that. But no, not today. The stage is now empty of images. Them continues. Yes. Now. Them exits, then rushes in again. Thank you for coming. Ready? Them flicks a hand, lights bump down, leaving them in silhouette. Sounds shift to the faint pattern of whooshes and drips, valves opening and closing, liquid rushing through a channel and drops falling one by one into a large pool. As them speaks, light slowly returns. Holly, Danny, Cecile, Ona. We're in Holly, then Danny, Cecile, Ona. Then in Holly, Danny, Cecile, Ona. Yes, they're women. Yes, we're blood. But stay with us. Holly, Danny, Cecile, Ona. Yes, women. Yes, blood. But stay with us. Feel alive. Imagine you're a woman, or imagine you have blood. Ha, caught you. Keep up. Stay with us. Oh, yes, us. We. Because blood contains multitudes. Oh, yes, their blackness. Yes. Yes. So imagine you're Black woman, or imagine you're Black blood. Ha ha, caught you. No such thing. Stay with us. And no shootings or stabbings, we've chosen them carefully. No shootings, stabbings, so we make our best case. Yes, blood, Black women's blood, but no shootings, stabbings, or batterings. Sorry. We'll prove they can have bright stories. We'll prove there can be good blood. So stay with us. Stay with us. Then we can move on. Our time here is running out. To make our best pitches, persuade the big bosses we earned a new chance. We need you to stick around to show them your interest. We keep your attention. They think it's good stuff. And it is for bright stories. It is for good bloods. So stay with us. Stay with us. And you can feel alive. Holly, Danny, Cecile, Ona. Welcome. Welcome. Come with us. Stay with us. Referring to the chairs, these to help you imagine. At the first chair, them slips on a light colored skirt and colored sweater, pearl necklace, and heels. The actor is now Holly, a well-dressed, poised 21-year-old in 1962. 1962 projects on a wall in the space along with upbeat images of the period and an upbeat song from the era, something about dancing, parties, and/or love. Holly stands and turns slowly in front of the audience as if for inspection, but a distracted, wondering look flickers across her face. She speaks to herself. Damn. But this is good news, really. 1962 disappears and the music stops. Briefly, them again. Welcome, hello, fall 1962, girls' dorm, a noted Negro college. Let's get one blood out of the way, shall we? We are now in a windowed dorm room, daytime. Holly breezes into the room. She doesn't acknowledge the audience. She calls behind herself. Oh, I just forgot something. Why aren't you in class? Well, I hope you won't be on the phone all day. Tell Lewis I said hi. Holly sweeps in. Off stage, the muffled sound of another young woman chatting continues through the scene. Holly checks inside her panties. Bam. But it's really good news. She changes clothes and checks her skirt and panties. She still hasn't acknowledged the audience, honestly. She pantomimes running water into the sink, then drops the panties in with a pantomimed scrub of soap. Vinegar. You're a grown woman, Holly. Suddenly, she feels the audience's eyes. Oh, no. Oh dear. Have you been there the whole... Holly freezes as Them's voice chimes in from off. Of course you have. We invited you, but this one stands on propriety. She can relax. Nobody died. Back to Holly. Have you been there the whole, well, I don't usually, don't look at me like that. Besides, it's good news. I'm Holly, short for holiday. Charmed, I'm sure. This really is an unfortunate first impression. Just a little accident, that's all. I was at choir practice, counting measures, when I felt it, the trickle. So I tiptoed down the risers, gathered my things, and gone. And now I'm here, repairing the damage. It has to soak. So you'll be staying? All right then. Let's chit chat, shall we? All right. How about a bit of gossip? I really shouldn't say so, especially now that she's passed, but I think they were having an affair. You don't sing a man happy birthday like that in a gown like that and not know what he looks like in his skivvies, United States president or no. Mark my words, history will prove me right, but we shouldn't judge. Speaking of Miss Marilyn's questionable attire, please forgive mine. Rest assured, we young ladies of Davis Hall always strive to be properly dressed. She pulls a skirt out from the closet. We are all very, very wholesome. Even Barbara there, poor lovesick thing. It wouldn't be so bad, except if you're anywhere near the door, you can hear everything. Never anything important, mind you, just goo goo gaga. Her Lewis sounds sweet, but honestly, one day that phone will become permanently stuck to poor Barbara's ear, and we will have to bring her plates of food as she sits there stuck for all eternity. It's a good thing he lives away, so they're not within groping distance, or my Lord. Though at least they'd be in love. I suppose that's a good rule of thumb, isn't it? Make sure you love them before they get within reach. If I'd known that, I'd just plather. What were we talking about? Thank you.
This is Jamal Chasen. He's a new friend to NNPN and a new friend to y'all.
Hello, everyone again. So cool. Glad we got that taken care of. I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to read from this play. It's a solo piece that I wrote during the pandemic called Crawfish, We the Invisible. And it's a solo piece. In Blackout, a man stands center stage. He stomps out a rhythm, lights up. My name is Crawfish from New Orleans. Ha! I live in the Bay now. I was sent by tragedy. Woo! 2020 was a hell of a year to be living on these streets. Huh. And if you ain't got no home, then you homeless just like me. An image of a young Black woman from the 1950s rural South accompanies Crawfish on stage. Mama was a Southern girl, raised in the American South, fell in love with a South American farmhand named Esteban, who would teach her how to cross borders and break boundaries that Black Southern girls weren't meant to break. He crossed her mom and daddy, crossed them bad. The file that crossed around her mama's neck, inadvertently cutting out her daddy's heart. My grandparents lost, they shit. Esteban got her out in the way just in time. The way it was told to me, my granddaddy crossed his heart and hoped to die. He was gonna kill him both. So they had to cross into Texas and find their way across the Mexican border. This time, the boundary was visible and the journey was impossible unless you were young and in love, and they were. And Mama swore it was that cross around her neck that got him across. The sign of the cross, crossing borders, crossing boundaries, crossing from the frying pan into the fire, into San Pedro Sula, where Esteban was from. No, I ain't never called him daddy because I didn't know him long enough. I can't remember, don't remember, nor want to remember, but I can feel everything that my mother lived with. I can feel everything that happened. The fear my mother lived with. The console Esteban tried to provide. I can feel my mother struggling, trying to fit in. I can feel my inadequacies and my insecurities being born and nurtured right alongside me. And there's only 3 things I can remember. Esteban's closed casket funeral, me and Mama leaving, and us never turning back. Ain't no turning back. No, I don't smoke crack. I think crack is whack. I smoke the buddy bud, drink a little chuggy chug, sippy sip, puffy puff, numb the pain in my brain, cause Mama's brain is starting to fade. Lost my house, left my town, things turned left. Look at me now. 9/11, 2020. The day Crawfish decides to tell his story. And I speak of myself in third person because I am 3 times the fun. Hey, and ain't no better day than the day to tell it. Did you see the sky this morning? Fires burn across the entire western US of A. While the sky glows a ruby red, the way I imagine Mars to be. Our spacecraft has just entered Earth's atmosphere. We now know why the planet glows a ruby red. It's because their forests are burning, and for the past 4 years, they have been led by unintelligent life. Masks masking, smiles are hidden. The White House aided in killing millions. Police cut breath with knees on necks, and social distance does not work for the homeless. How can you shelter in if you ain't got no shelter? That is not snow falling from the sky. Ash. I've been living out here, Berkeley, California, Gilman Street, under the overpass of the 580 freeway for 15 years. Home of the Chichinyu, Huchun, Lani people, resistance, protesters, social change. 15 years and I ain't never seen the snow. But I've seen a lot of rain. And this is ash. Yeah. Deposited on top of my crown from one of the many fires burning around the East Bay. Smoking ash, sure to add to my list of physical ailments. Hey, when I first arrived, I was the picture of health. 180 pounds. Chiseled abs. Bulging biceps. Wow. All my own teeth. Wow. And now I got parasitic infestations, swollen calves, and torn up feet. And this air is sure to turn the tickle in my throat into a hacking cough, making it difficult to breathe. No, I have never seen it snow in Berkeley. Speaking of difficulty breathing, I have also never seen a man die the way George Floyd died. Cop's knee on his neck as the officer pressed. And I ain't never seen the whole world become so outraged and engaged as they watched the whole world watch one man pass away. The thing of it is, it's fucked up and disturbing as it was. Can someone please tell me where's the outrage for my condition, huh? Where's the outrage for the masses of people who live on the streets every day? Where's the marches, and the protests and the suburban lawn signs that say homeless people matter. Where, oh, where are they? Oh, beautiful, for tainted skies, speaking God's name in vain, for purple mountains of bullshit, topped off with fruits and grains. America, America, God share his grace on these nuts and supply our good with hateful small-minded motherfuckers yearning for the good old days. From sea to shining sea. That was dedicated to our forefathers and foremothers, them slave rapers and landowners, them grandfathers and grand wizards, you know, to Miss Lady and to head mistress. You know, those daddies who own daddies and those mamas who own mammies, separating daddies from their families, left them mamas to become mammies. Yeah. We, the invisible, have mamas and daddies too. I didn't have a daddy. Not because he was a deadbeat, but because he was dead. You see, my mama was my everything, my provider, my best friend, my fashion consultant. Baby, don't be afraid of pink. It goes beautiful with your brown complexion. She was my boxing coach. Mama was tougher than cheap leather. She was my Uber driver before there ever was an Uber. You see, the only problem I ever had with my mama was she couldn't keep a job, which meant we often had to change the roof she placed over our heads, from Honduras to Texas, Texas to New York, New York to New Jersey, back to Texas, and then finally New Orleans. Yeah, I guess you could say me and mama have always been immigrating migrants. We ain't never picked no fruit, but we migrants just the same. Mama currently has the ability to migrate her memory. Alzheimer's can kind of do that to you. Turn you into a reverse superhero. Forget me not. Baby, are you married? Do you have any kids? A superhero whose powers include time travel, altering the order of the days, weeks, months, and years, the power of delusion and persistent paranoia, followed by the scariest power of them all, deep, dark depression. You see, when you always did what you always done, but now you can't do it, remember a single one. Baby, I ain't never met your wife. Do you have any kids? Now, like most superheroes, the most interesting thing about their powers are when they acquire them. Baby, are you married? I witnessed my mother's powers develop over a number of years. Baby? And sometimes she would call me by my brother's name, by my cousin's name, or some other name. And then she started talking in loops. I ain't never met your wife. Do you have any kids? Repeating the same thing over and over. Baby, do you? I ain't never. Baby, do you? I ain't never. Baby, do you? I ain't never met your wife. You have the kids? Yes, Mama. Whew. Thank you.
Whew, that was amazing. All right, it's just all been incredible. So hi, my name is Drew Pariser. I'm coming to you all from the Tutelo, Saponi, and Keawe lands, otherwise known as Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I have the incredible honor of introducing our last slammer this evening, one of my favorite people in the world, most formative people in the world to me, Megan Tabake. So just a few of the many amazing things that I admire about Megan. Her work draws on this incredible range of inspirations that range from psycho fitness culture to 2000s era gaming, current pop music icons, ghost stories, modern tech culture. And she has this like incredible way of taking these kind of modern elements and imbuing them with like the weight of mythologies, creating modern myths. She also has this incredible ability to craft these moments that are simultaneously tender and funny and tragic and joyous and just kind of burst with life, often in contradictory and surprising ways as far as like the emotions that they bring up in you. She's also one of my favorite monologuists, which I think comes from the fact that she's an incredible performer. She's one of the most multi-talented people I know. She's also a remarkable educator and spreader of love of playwriting and theater to growing artists all around the country. I could talk for a million more years, but I won't because we're at the end. So I will now let Megan Tabake take the stage.
Hello. Thank you, Drew. My gosh, what wonderful company. That was amazing, Jamal. I'm still coming down from it. So just give me a second. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be reading a couple of brand spanking new scenes from a play that I'm currently working on writing that will have its first developmental reading at Theater Emery this fall as part of the Brave New Works Festival there. It's provisionally titled Marry Me, Bruno Mars, and is in conversation with human trafficking from East Asia and the conspiracies that exist in the United States and beyond around human trafficking and its positioning in politics. Great. So just because this is a brand new play, I wanted to bring in a couple of the epigraphs I'm working with, and then I'll launch into some scenes. Great. I'd catch a grenade for ya, throw my hand on a blade for ya. I'd jump in front of a train for ya. You know I'd do anything for ya. Oh, I would go through all this pain, take a bullet straight through my brain. Yes, I would die for you, baby. That is from the song Grenade by Bruno Mars. It's a complete fantasy, but it's what they believe. This is a quote from Mike Rothschild, the author of the forthcoming book, The Storm is Upon Us. That is a deep dive into QAnon. Scene. A small room in what feels like a basement. A cot with a pillow, a small shelf with glasses, a hot plate and sundries. Lori, in her 30s, Korean, speaks to us like she's writing a letter. Lori. Dear Bruno, you may not know this, but we are atomically linked. Not only were we born in the same century, we were born just one day apart, a single day, in all of time. Can you believe it? When I saw your birthday on your Wikipedia page, my heart leapt out of my chest. Magic, I thought. 24-karat magic. That is the first song of yours I ever heard. When I got off the plane, the world crashed into me like a heavy stone. One day I was in Seoul, and all of a sudden I was sitting on this sticky seat in a van, and then your song came on the radio. The man driving turned it up louder. This is my man, he said, Bruno Mars, Pinoy. He was so proud. He claimed you like a son. I'd never been to the Philippines, but maybe it is fun there, like him. His dancing made me feel less crushed by the trip. And your singing, it is like a seltzer water bath for my soul. I burst. I looked you up on my phone right away. One day Seoul, next day Atlanta, one day me, Next day, you, my atomic dream man. It feels like a long time ago now, but has only been 2 months since my arrival. I am starting to believe they were not telling me the truth about work here being available at the hospital. They gave me nursing scrubs, but I have only been made to work at the spa so far, and it is not, I have no training in massage. A shift. Scene. A father and son, Terry and Jay, on a porch. Terry, 60s white, has his left leg wrapped tight in bandages and a brace, propped up on a cooler. Jay, 20s white, opens a fresh can of Miller High Life. Terry, 2 months of deep dive research, Jaybird. 2 whole months. Quit calling it horse shit. Jay, watching YouTube videos is not research. Terry, oh, what is it then? What is it, huh? What? What is it? Tell me what it is then. What do you think news is? What? Jay, it's a bored old man healing up from knee surgery. It's 2 months of boredom, not whatever you are calling it. Terry, it is video. It is not evil. I've got a bum leg, son. How else am I supposed to know what is going on? Who is governing my life, my son's life? Jay, I'm not asking you to join Reese Witherspoon's Book of the Month Club. Terry, oh, I like her. Jay, yeah. Terry, she's got a club? Jay, Dad, just take a look at a newspaper once in a while. They've got them at the gas station, or you can check in on Mrs. Hemphill next door. Terry, Mrs. H, yes. Jay, yes, she gets the paper. I know she loves the company. Terry, oh, we talk about Zed too. Jay, Jesus. Terry, she showed me this chart showing the flags of each state with what all the symbols mean, but then there's a new column that Zed made that tells us what they really, really mean. Jay, read the newspaper. More than one. You need more voices in your life. Terry, now that's what a real nutcracker sounds like. Voices. Jay, Christ. Terry. And then she showed me this map of hot spots all over the country where these secret dens are hidden, and how it showed like there were people all over the place just stuck, women stuck and suffering, and I kept thinking of your mom. Jay, oh, Pop. Terry, and right here there are two big red dots right here in Atlanta. The green tree, the gold glass. It's like clues from some kind of mystery world. Terry loses himself for a moment. Jay does too. Jay, I can't stay here anymore. Terry, all right, chill out. Jay, I'm afraid of you. Terry, I never laid a hand on you, son. I am a hurt man. I am healing. What a real hurt that is for you to fear me. Jay, I'm afraid that I'll start believing you, Dad. Because that's what I do. You shout something at me long enough, I'll accept that. I'm not saying I won't think about it for a minute, but I'm not a thorough guy. I don't want to lose my wits. It's painful to watch you descend, Terry. All this hurt, you heap it on like you're digging a ditch to bury me in. Jay, come on, Pop. Terry, I know I'm old. I know I'm not a genius. I don't got brains. Sorry, it's just not what our family got handed. But I got you. I got you, Jay. And I got Zed. And I got God. I'm not hurting anybody, Jay. I'm not. I'm just here on the porch with my son. Just let an old man believe in something, all right? They drink beers, stare out at the trees as the sun goes down. End scene. Scene. Back with Lori and her cot. Dear Bruno, I really love your new song. It is extraordinary. I especially like the part where you compare your clean-shaven face to a newborn baby's skin. There is a softness to you that makes me feel safe. I am beginning to really think that they lied to me. It has been 6 months now, and they have not found me any nursing work. I am too trusting. I feel an ease in believing people. My stomach ties itself up less when I allow such belief. In some ways, everything can be true if you believe in it enough. I don't know what I'm saying. For example, I believe in you. Bruno Mars materializes. Lori, is that you? I'm here. Bruno, I could feel your presence when I close my eyes. And here you are. Lori, we are atomically linked. Bruno, I know. Bruno sees the cot. Bruno, what have they got you sleeping on here? Lori, oh, don't look, don't. Bruno, these sheets are not silk. Somebody call the damn cops. Lori, I'm not allowed to have a phone. Bruno, never mind. Not the cops. Call my guys, my vibe guys. We gotta switch up the energy in here. Bruno takes in the small room. We gotta get you a nice sheepskin rug right there in front of the sink. Keep you warm when I'm away. Lori, that sounds nice. Bruno, a lamp with soft golden light to kiss those high cheekbones. Lori, that's why I write you letters, because no phones at night. They keep it in a little box somewhere, locked away like treasure. Passport, credit card, phone. Bruno, you ever slept on a pillow made out of eiderdown? Lori, eiderdown? Bruno, I'm gonna set you up, girl. Spoil you right. Lori, you're a good man. Bruno, are you all right? You seem sad. Lori, it's not sad. It's something else. Bruno, you're not sleeping well or something? Sheets are important, man. People don't know. Lori, oh, no. For some reason, I can always sleep. Bruno, somebody hurting you? Lori, what is a word that is kind of sad and also trapped, but not afraid, just looking for an opening? Bruno, I'm not sure. You still being made to do that dirty work? Lori, please don't talk about it here, not when we're together. Bruno, Lori, you are a queen. I wish I could pick you up and take you into the clouds with me, shower you with pink diamonds and starbursts, only the red and pink ones like you like. Give you 1,000 bouquets of fresh flowers, soft like 1,000 babies' bottoms. But I can't do that, 'cause I'm just your dream man. I'm so sorry, Lori. Lori, it's not your fault. Bruno, when it happens next, pretend it's me. Lori, oh, Bruno, put my sunglasses on, like this. Hide those beautiful eyes so they can't stare into them like I do. Bruno puts his sunglasses on Lori. Lori, I'm melting. Bruno, better soak you up then. With my jacket, wrap it around your shoulders so you feel held tight. Bruno wraps his jacket around Lori. Bruno, and you can always sing and dance, Lori. That's what music is for. Bruno, you know. Bruno and Lori sing and dance for a moment. He holds her. Bruno, I'll be there with you, girl, the whole time. Just let it be me. Lori, it can always be you. Bruno, I'm gonna send my guys over here with the good stuff soon. Treat you like a lady, okay? Bruno evaporates. A moment of singing and dancing alone, feeling held. Then the handle on the door jiggles. It jiggles again. Then someone kicks at it. Another kick. Another. Then finally the door is kicked in. It's Terry. Terry. Fucking hell! My leg! Jay is behind him. Damn it, Dad! End excerpt.
Woohoo! Congratulations. Thank you so much, Megan. That was wonderful. This was such an exciting slam. Thank you, everyone who shared their work with us and everyone who introduced everyone who shared their work with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Hey, I am Jordana. I use she, her pronouns. I am in Los Angeles, the land of the Tongva, the Gabrielino, and the Quiche people. And I'm so happy to be joining you, and sorry for introducing myself so late in the game. Thank you, Lindy and Anne, for an amazing, amazing host of tonight's amazing slam, and echoing thanks to all of our performers and our introducers, and even those that couldn't be here with us. Thank you so much for sending in that information. And speaking of poorly timed introductions, it has come to my understanding that our introduction, hello, Anne's cat, her name is Cordelia. It has come to my attention that the introduction that Jess and I gave for Jamal was cut out, and I'm so sorry about that. Jamal, like all of these playwrights, is somebody that you need to know, which is why I am dropping his universe's profile into the chat if my computer wasn't frozen and on fire. Here we go. Just kidding, it's neither frozen nor on fire. But I wanted to say, before I let Anne and Lindy go, because they might have some additional ideas, get in touch with these playwrights. You can find them on New Play Exchange. You can Google them on the internet. You can go to the reception page on Hopin, and you can click the links in their speaker badges and find out more. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way, and you can get in touch with any of us, and we can do it e-intro, because you know that that's what we're all about at NNPN.